Raw action is the solution to every single problem you have. And everyone is guilty of procrastination as you know it. Even I, the sun god Ra, is guilty of this. Before I created this video, I mused over it, I thought about it, I procrastinated. I literally now, I'm just coming from the grocery store. I went to get a slide that I don't even need, and I have it right here. You see, I went to get this slide. I told myself when I get this slide, then I'll consider creating this video. So you see that even in the face of procrastination, that even the stupidest of tasks seem most alluring, like doing that dish or washing that plate that you know you're never going to use, doing things that you know are inconsequential as to the day's task. So in the face of procrastination, every single thing becomes alluring, every single thing becomes doable, just like me. So everyone is guilty of this disease of procrastination. The problem is not what we want to do. Every single person knows the exact same thing, the exact thing he will do to change his life. But why do we not do it? We do not do it because we are self-sabotaging ourselves. Just like the example I gave with the slides. Instead of creating this video, instead of doing the things that moves me forward to my most coveted goal, which is the daily tasks I have so set for myself, I chose to go to the grocery store, spend a bunch of time. When I came back, mule over creating this video, waste some more time, and boom, before you know, the day is gone. And when the day is gone, we give ourselves legal ground to procrastinate because the day is gone. I have no control over the climate and the constellate. How do they call this thing? But I have no control over the day and night, so I might as well go to bed. Maybe we'll continue tomorrow. But the reality of it is you're only going to keep doing that, and someday you're going to wake up and you will regret not taking action. Now, why is this? Why is this? Why is this? Why is this a problem? The problem with it is every one of us, we've heard what the law of cybernetics is under the principle of aviation. The law of cybernetics states that when a plane is moving, it cannot deviate beyond its trajectory for over a certain, it cannot deviate, it cannot deviate from its trajectory beyond a certain point. So if a plane is going straight and it begins to go off course, law of cybernetics kicks in and realigns it back to its trajectory. It's the same thing with your mind. The moment you begin taking action, the moment you go to the gym, you eat right, you do some push-ups, you read 30 pages a day, you are deviating from the initial trajectory. It's only a matter of time before the law of cybernetics kicks in and aligns you back to your initial trajectory, which is heading for failure. Heading for failure. Which is why you notice after being consistent over a period of time of doing something, of hard work, it could be going to the gym, reading the book, you find yourself back into that negative cycle. This is the explanation. Now, this is what those gurus fail to let you know. This is what those gurus fail to explain to you. You do not solve problems in your life with the same mindset that gives you that same problem. It's just like trying to solve you do not solve problems in your life with logical solutions because logical solutions have already been tried. That's what anyone will try and do. And they usually fail. So you solve problems with psychological solutions. Psychological solutions is how to solve problems. Instead of making the train faster, why not make the experience more enjoyable? So in situations like this, instead of deviating and trying to force boot your way into success, of course, it works at times, but majority of you are coming from a very low point in life where you've sunk into alcohol, all shades of addiction, and now you're trying to improve your life. This is a very demotivating factor because you find yourself in this negative loop. You feel down, you feel like less of a human. Anytime you do that thing you said you promise yourself you're not going to do, it's like your manhood is stripped from you anytime you fall back into that addiction. But I'm here to explain to you that it's not your fault. It's programming. It's the way you've been programmed. You've been programmed to head to a certain trajectory. You've been programmed to go somewhere which the destination is not optimal for your success. So instead of trying to not go that place, why not change your destination? So change your trajectory such that when you deviate, it aligns you back to your to a positive goal. So instead of that former trajectory, create a new trajectory, create a new goal, a new place you want to head to. Then start taking actions that are consistent towards that goal. And sometimes you would fall. Sometimes you fall back into that negative cycle. But all you're doing is you're deviating. It's only a matter of time before it kicks in and you align yourself back to your predefined goals. So procrastination is human. Procrastination is human. I procrastinated even today from the example I just gave you. Should we be procrastinating? Hell no. But it is what it is. We are humans, my friend. So that's the first one. We suffer so much from procrastination. The second thing I see most people do, even myself, that I am guilty of, is I used to fantasize a lot. Now, if you from this few minutes of the from the few minutes of this video, you can tell I'm very intelligent individual. I'm well articulate. I'm very well spoken. So before I got to this point, I always liked fantasy, consuming information. You know all this kind of things they say, fall in the state or fall asleep in the state of your desires fulfilled. Do this, do that, think about it, visualize. And I'm not knocking on it. I'm not trying to dissuade you from visualizing. That's not what I'm trying to do at all. But I'm trying to tell you that from Newton's third law, we understand that for every action, there's an equal and opposite reaction. As we sow, we shall reap. So what are you sowing? What is the cause or what is the effect of your current action? In this kingdom, we are not allowed to choose our consequences. We only choose our actions. This is the difference between us and animals. We say we are God's highest form of creation, but God did not just create us; He created other creatures. So the distinguishing factor from a human being and an animal is the will to choose. So we are 3 stories high. If I walk out that door and jump out, I would fall. So chances are excellent that I would fall, except God shows mercy. So do I have control over the consequences? No. The consequences are have already been pre-programmed. So you see that your action immediately you take an action. It might not be as immediate as the example I just gave, which is why people fail to be careful with the kind of actions they take. If you go out late at night, don't wake up, watch porn, have an addiction, don't do anything to improve yourself. It's all a negative spiral and you end up miserable and suicidal. And what I find very interesting is there are so many people who have gone down this path and you've seen the end result. Yet you think that the upcoming generation would see this defect and correct it, but wrong. They still go down that same path and expect a different result. I heard this thing one time and I believed it to be true. That another definition of insanity is doing the same thing over and over again and expecting a different outcome. There's a time to be consistent, but you know exactly what I'm talking about. Doing the same thing, going out, partying late at night, having alcohol, not reading books to improve yourself and constructive thinking, not learning a skill, and you expect to be wealthy by some alchemy, by manifesting. It doesn't happen that way, my friend. You have to make shit happen before it happens. You have to put in some kind of effort before you reap the rewards of what you want. And I'm telling you from experience, this is coming from a guy who spent 2 years of his life visualizing, fantasizing of wealth with little to no result. So you do not have to make that mistake. You do not have to go down the same path as I am. Of course, I learned a lot of things along the way during those times of visualizing and fantasizing for success. But my friend, a wise man, a very smart person, smart people learn from their experience. A wise person learns from another person's experience. So the lesser mistake you make in a journey, the quicker you arrive. The quicker you arrive. It's like going, say you're traveling from uh Africa to America. Say one part of the journey you miss your way, and you're going the wrong direction. You think destiny and life would not say, oh, because you spent so much time in the wrong way, you will never arrive to America. You have to turn back. So that time wasted in arriving at the wrong destination and also getting back to the initial beginning of the journey would have used to make maximum progress had you learned from someone experience or had you taken a map. So taking a roadmap is drawing from the experience of others who have walked through the same path as you. So you do not have to make the same mistake as I. You do not have to wait 2 years before you come to the realization that action, nothing substitutes for raw action. Nothing substitutes for raw action. So yeah, procrastination is one thing, fantasizing without doing anything is another thing. And majority of people have this flawed belief, which is what the system wants you to believe, that your action is inconsequential to the outcome of your future, that every single thing you do today has no effect on your destiny. Keep partying, keep having fun. You see, the road to heaven seems like hell, while the road to hell seems like heaven. You might get those temporary gratifications now. You might take the addiction, you might take the cigarette and feel good in the moment. But there's that subtle still voice inside of you telling you that this is not the right path. And as I've explained, that God gave every single man a will, and decisions decides destiny. The consequences of your decisions have already been pre-programmed. So if you choose that route, there's a consequence that's attached to it. And the funny thing about this consequence is you can run to the ends of the earth. They will find you with digital precision. So regardless of where you run, you can kill someone now, yeah, and hide inside a closet for 10 years. The consequence of that decision will find you regardless of where you end, regardless of where you go to. So be very careful about the kind of decision, be very careful about the kind of actions you take. So decisions decide destiny. Be very careful. Start taking action today. What is that single thing that you want to do, but you're still waiting for something external to happen? See, perfection is highly desirable, but nothing man-made is or can be perfect. To wait for perfection is to wait forever. It's like saying, I'm not going to leave my apartment till all the lights on the road are green. Do you see how ridiculous that sounds? If you were to wait for a scenario like that to happen, that means you're going to wait forever. You would never leave that apartment. You will never make that journey. It's the same thing with your goals. You're waiting for that camera to arrive before you start your YouTube channel. Clear some storage on your phone. Start recording now. You see, you gain more experience with iteration than theory. You learn more by doing. You see, more tools will be found along the way. Yeah, and those tools will not be found at the initial beginning of the journey. They'll be found somewhere along the journey. You see, nobody wants to support you now. Before now, yeah, my oldest video, I was still looking for someone who will create the thumbnail, my search engine optimization, help me run the channel. But now I get thousands of emails telling me, oh, please, I can help you do this. I can help you run your thumbnails. Look down now in the comment sections. There are people saying, oh, I can help you do this. I can help you do that. But no, bro, I don't need you. You see, The time when people would want to help you, most times you've already got it. You already know what you're doing. I'm not saying you should not ask for help, but that's the case most times. So take action now. I want each and every single one of you to write something down that you're going to do today that moves you towards your most coveted goals. It could be something as trivial as scripting that business plan, scripting that business idea. You see, why do I recommend you to script down your ideas? Because once you script it down, writing creates image, it stimulates your mind. And once your mind starts thinking about that thing, it is destined to come to you. All through Genesis 11, there was no demons, there was no angels, there was no right or wrong as you know it. It was just men with their mind. Remember the story of Babylon, how God came down and said that he came down to see the building which the Son of Man built. They had not done any physical building. So if you look at that scripture, you see it was referring to their mind. So once you implant it in your mind, it's finished. It's finished. You begin attracting circumstances and situations that makes for that dream to become a reality. So always script your dream down. Always write it down as to create that image. Yeah? Yeah, so that's one thing. So I want each and every single one of you to put something down. Take a single action. You see, a mile of action, yeah, moves you further towards your goal than kilometers of intention. Or let me rephrase that. A single step of action moves you forward than miles of intention. It's like saying, oh, bro, I like your watch. Okay, come take it. Come and take it. Oh, I really like your watch. Okay, here it's yours. You can have it. I used to like watches when I was a young boy. Here the watch is. You can have it. It's yours. You know, I really like black watches. 2019. Come and take it. The watches. They are good watches. 2020, 2021, 2022, 2023, 2024 is about to end and you're still procrastinating. Here is the watch. It's yours. You can have it if you so desire. Please, my friends, write something down that moves you towards your most coveted goal. I want every single one of you to write something down in the comment section. Write a single task that you're going to take that moves you towards your goal. As always, friends, it's a pleasure speaking to you. I'll see you in the next one.